Hello YouTube, this is part 2 of my 78 RPM record collection, and we will start off with right here, another Hawaiian record. On this side we have the song Aloha Oe, Farewell to Thee by the Hawaiian Quintet, and on this side we have Ku Home, which is a native plantation song. And this side was recorded on April 11th, 1913, and then this side was recorded 5 days later in the same year. Here we have Cal Stewart as singing I'm Old But I'm Awfully Tough. And this side was recorded on September 12th, 1919. Hope you could see it. Then on this side, Uncle Josh Joins the Grangers, also by Cal Stewart, was recorded on August 11th, 1919. Here's a Victor scroll label. I have a few of them. On this side we have La Perrette, which is a foxtrot, and on this side is the Doll Dance, also a foxtrot. This side was recorded on March 3rd, 1927. Then this side was recorded January 7th, 1927. Here's an early Victor record, both featuring the American Quartet. On this side we have can't really read it. Honey something. Writing's really worn out on this side. But then on this side we have Oh You Beautiful Doll by Billy Murray and the American Quartet. And both were recorded on October 31st, 1911. Then back to the Batwing label. On this side we have Ireland must be heaven, for my mother came from there. And it's sung by Charles Harrison. Then on the back side, all Erin is calling Mavonian. I think that's how it's pronounced. Both sides were recorded July 19th, 1916. On this side, here's another record. Henry Burr and Billy Murray. On this side, singing I Wonder Where My Baby Is Tonight. This side was recorded December 4th, 1925. And on the B side, we have Gene Austin singing I Never Knew. And that was recorded November 30th, 1925. Here we have Rudy Wiedoeft with Frank Banta at the piano, and on the other, and the song is called Souvenir. And on this side we have Saxarella by the same people, and it's a saxophone solo. And both sides were recorded on September 22nd, 1923. Here we have another foxtrot, and it's called Margie by the original Dixieland Jazz Band. And this side was recorded December 1st, 1920. Then on the other side we have Palestina, which is also another foxtrot by the same group. And this side was recorded 3 days later in the same year. And on this side, on this record, we have Kumukahi, Song of the Lonesome Forest, sung by the Hawaiian Quintet. And on this side, we have Ai Ai Hea. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but and both sides were recorded on April 18th, 1913. On this side, on this record, we have Come Back Home to Old Kentucky. Come Back Home to Old Kentucky by Albert Campbell and Henry Burr. And this side was recorded on December 17th, 1915. And on this side we have the American Quartet again, singing Loading Up the Mandalay. And it was recorded on January 5th, 1916. Here we have a Victor scroll label record. And on this side we have the song Forgive Me by Gene Austin. And it was recorded March 15th, 1927. And on this side we have Someday Sweetheart, sung by the same person. And it was recorded actually on the next day in that same year. Here is a very special record to me because this was among the very first ones that I got in my collection. And this is called Tripping Along Waltz with the Troubadours. And on the other side we have Arizona Stars by the same group. And both sides were recorded on January 14th, 1924. Here we have Albert Kimball and Henry Burr again. On this side we have the song She is the Sunshine of Virginia. Hopefully you can read it. And this side was recorded July 18, 1916. And on the other side we have Harry McDonough with the Orpheus Quartet. And it was recorded on July 25th, 1916. Here we have another Charles Harrison record. On the side he's singing Dreaming of Home Sweet Home. And it was recorded on November 4th, 1918. Then on the other side we have Charles Hart and Elliot Shaw singing The Rose of No Man's Land. And it was recorded on November 8th, 1918. Here we have a Blue Label record from 1918. And this song is called The Americans Come by Reynold Warenrath. And it was recorded on October 28th, 1918. And then on the other side, we have Lambert Murphy singing I Can Always Find a Little Sunshine in the YMCA. And it was recorded on October 31st, 1918. Here we have a double-sided red label record, and on this side we have the song Meditación by Yashka Heifetz and Andre Benoist at the piano. And this side was recorded March 28, 1923. And on this side we have Serenade, and it's by the same people, and it was recorded on October 28, 1919. Now on to the 12-inch records. Here we have The Rhapsody in Blue by Paul Whiteman and his concert orchestra, and George Gershwin at the piano. But it was recorded in 1927. I forgot to write it down, so I don't have the exact date, but I'll probably post it in the description. Here we have the Hungarian Rhapsody by Leopold Stokowski and the Philadelphia Orchestra. And it was recorded on April 21st, 1927. Here we have a single-sided record. Kind of hard to see, but it's called The Merry Birds by Jules Levi. And it was recorded around 1903, according to the website. Here we have Silver Threads Among the Gold by Richard Jose, recorded on December 10th, 1904. Here we have different national airs of different countries. Among them are Great Britain, Austria, Russia, France, Italy, Germany, and the United States. For Britain we have Rule Britannia, Austria, God preserve the Emperor. Russia, God save the Tsar. France, La Marseillaise. Italy, Garibaldi hymn. Germany, Watch on the Rhine. And, of course, the Star-Spangled Banner in the United States. Here we have a opera record. This one is called Tripak, if I pronounced it right. It's a Russian song sung by Fyodor Chaliapin. I looked everywhere for the recording date but wasn't able to find one, but I'll keep looking, and if I find it I'll post it in the description. And here we have Barbire di Siviglia, Largo al Factotum, which is from The Barber of Seville, by Tita Ruffo, and it was recorded on April 19th, 1920. Here we have music from the ballet music from Faust. And it was recorded June 7th, 1922. Here we have another opera record, also sung by Fyodor Chaliapin, and it's called Song of the Volga Boatman, which is a Russian folk song. And I couldn't find a recording date for this one either, so if I find it I'll post it as well. And here, I found this at an antique shop in Spanish Fork, Utah, and it's from the Gregorian High Mass. And on this record we have the Sanctus and the Agnus Dei, Holy, 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 and the Lamb of God, recorded in St. Peter's Basilica by the Sistine Choir. And it was recorded around April of 1904. And it is a beautiful record. I've heard it once. Here we have the presidential election of 1928 by Amos and Andy. And Amos and Andy were a comedian team from the days of radio. My grandpa used to love to listen to them, and it's thanks to him that I got interested into the old radio shows and this kind of stuff. And this was recorded on July 17th, 1928. Here we have three of my most favorite records in this collection. Here we have Devotion by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, conducted by Anthony C. Lund, and recorded in the Tabernacle in Salt Lake City, Utah. This side was recorded on September 27, 1925. Then on this side we have By the Waters of Minnetonka, also by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, recorded 3 days earlier in the same year. Here we have Behold God the Lord passed by, from Elisha by Mendelssohn, also by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and recorded in the Tabernacle, and is accompanied, the choir is accompanied by the organ in the Tabernacle. And then here we have an organ solo by Edward P. Kimball, who was organist in the Tabernacle at the time. And this song is called War March of the Priests, also by Mendelssohn. This side was recorded on June 8th, 1927, and on this side we have it's been recorded on the 10th of July, 1927, or I mean June. And here is my first Mormon Tabernacle Choir record. On this side we have the Lost Chord, which also was a organ solo given by Edward P. Kimball. And it was recorded on September 24th, 1925. And on this side we have Great is Jehovah, also by the choir and the organ, and also a piano, recorded on September 27th, 1925. Here we have some very interesting records. On this side we have a medley of patriotic airs, including America, Yankee Doodle, Columbia, The Gem of the Ocean, Marching Through Georgia, and Dixie by the Columbia Band. This was recorded on January 23rd, 1915. And on the other side, we have the Star Spangled Banner by none other than Margaret Woodrow Wilson, who is President Woodrow Wilson's daughter. And it was recorded on January 22nd, 1915. Here we have his master's voice which is our version of Victor, what we call Victor Records. And this was recorded in England. This was made in England. And on this side we have Daybreak at a Surrey farm. And it was recorded in the 30s with birds and animals. And then on this side we have an Eastertide idol in the village churchyard. So this was recorded around Easter of 1930 something. And it's got birds, the bells from the church, and an organ and choir singing. And in the record they sing, Christ the Lord is risen today. Here we have Goodnight Little Girl, Goodnight, recorded around 1913 by Henry Burr. And on the other side is the advertisement for Columbia Records from 1913. After I show my records, I might have another series while I'll be playing them. Here we have a Rex record made in England, and it is a couple of Christmas hymns sung by the choir of St. Mary Le Bow in London, in Cheapside, London. And it was recorded around 1935. And then some very treasured records of mine as well. On this side we have God Save the King and Home Sweet Home by the band of the Coldstream Guards, recorded in 1923. This side was recorded on April 5th, 1923. And on this side, we have the King and Queen giving their Empire Day speeches to the Empire, recorded on March 28th, 1923. And they also mention that it would have been Queen Victoria's birthday that day, so that's why it's called Empire Day. Here we have a single-sided record, and this is King George V, the current Queen's grandfather, giving his Christmas speech to the Empire. And it was recorded on Christmas Day, 1935. And on the back it's engraved, so hopefully you could see it. And here we have King George V giving a speech at the opening of the Five Power Naval Conference on January 21st, 1930. I will post more pretty soon. This is Britain Lover 431. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. Leave a comment if you wish to. Thank you for watching.